Alright, finally got some of this stuff working. I'm great at making a fool of myself, so I'll try to be serious as best I can, and we'll get through this. Just starting with basic layout here. No layout, actually. Not much to it, man. And what I'm thinking is to just add one thing at a time. Etrade, of course. My small A account. And what I'm going to do is just, like I said, add one thing at a time and kind of explain why. And in order to get this video in a short amount of time, we're going to have to keep moving pretty good. So let's just do classic chart. I love to put mine in the middle for some reason. I don't care about their upgraded new charts. I've tried the new charts, guys. I acted like I liked it for a while just to help me like it. Still didn't like it, and still don't. It's mostly because I would be trading during the day and I'd click on a ticker in the watch list and it wouldn't update in the chart. And I was trying to figure out why. I finally realized like the older charts don't have that problem. So I got rid of the new ones. Alright. I have a lot of preferences, but what I'm going to try to do in this video is keep it simple for anyone watching, and then maybe show what I do in the very end. For now, all we need to know is that one chart is good to go. We're going to bring another one though, because we're always looking at multiple time frames, and it is so easy to forget if you don't just have a layout that has both on it. So I'm gonna do this again, and then this time we're gonna make this, I'll leave that the daily, and I'll bring this to the intraday. Go to 1 minute, it automatically puts you on the intraday. I'm gonna want to do more than just that, but for right now, you're gonna want to learn how to go ahead and make these links come true for you. Now, I like my prime setup. We're just gonna call this link 1. It's already built in. So both of these are going to be link 1, as is everything else that we bring on. Let's keep moving and bring on a watch list. Go back to tools, bring the watch list, allow it to plop it wherever they seem to want to. I'm going to go ahead and start fitting things in because every inch of space is important. And I'm pretty picky about where everything is and how everything is, which is good for you too. I mean, really, it'll help us both. Etrade's cool because it has this feature where it just can snap things at times together. You know, when I do Active Trader Pro, I'm like, where is everything going? Like, I got stuff moving all over the place. This keeps it right in one spot. If I minimize the window, maximize the window, it just won't matter. So, again, it's all about tweaking things. And so, let's get rid of this and throw on something that matters to us. One of my favorite and when we click on that, it should come up on both charts. And it didn't because I didn't set this to link 1. Let's try it again. Action. Alright. So we have a watch list and 2 charts. Aren't we just halfway to 1 million? Okay, not really. The other tool, I mean, I'm trying to really boil it down to the basics, but you gotta have a level 2 if this is going to be your trade window. It doesn't always have to be the biggest window on your screen. Most of this information up top, you're going to find in other places anyway. So I'm just going to bring it down here. And you see it's too wide, so I need to actually make that a little bit less and bring it over. And adjust the other side to fit the screen. Alright, so on the left we have our watch list and our level 2. What's one more thing we need to do before we add anything else? Boom, we need to change this to link 1. It's important that they're all on the same thing. Now some windows control other windows, but not every window is going to control all the other windows. You'll learn which ones kind of take the lead. And what I've learned is that level 2 kind of takes the lead. We do want to make the symbol window a little bit bigger here. So if I put something, what that means is if I put something here, been watching video lessons on that recently, and so it controls the other windows. The watch list controls other windows. But if I put something in a chart, like you'll see Tim do in a lot of his videos, that doesn't necessarily mean it's something else. And so you see there, it just changed that one window. So you'll get used to that in time as well. Like I said, the best thing to do, what I normally do, is either the watch list or the level 2. Most of the time, the watch list. There's more to it than that even. You know, when we start getting into scanners, which I don't know if I'll get into maybe briefly in this video, but scanners, you can actually send something hot off the scanner, right click, send it to your watch list, boom, have your numbers right away, and choose whether or not you want to bring it up. I mean, the more space you got, the better. I know he keeps it simple, but I just can't help but have I have a 3 monitor setup at home, and I just love it. So we'll talk about using all your screen space on every monitor more as we go forward. What else do we need here, though? I'm just trading today. How am I going to trade if I don't have a trading window, right? So it's funny how I always see it until I'm making a video. But basically, you're going to want your account as well. So let's just do all that at once. Accounts tab. This, I mean, I'm seldomly in more than one trade at a time. And then we'll talk about some of these. I don't even like the columns. Every window has some kind of options to it. This one, you could go to columns. You know, which columns am I going to allow on my screen? Do I need the bid and ask on every single tool window? Obviously, the answer for me is no. You know, I want to know what it's trading at now. If I want to do anything more technical than that, then that's what the level 2 is for. So I'll get rid of those. I personally don't like the dollar change at the close. I'm pretty much a percentages kind of guy. So we're going to get some of that too. Now some of this I'm going to skip in order just to keep this hopefully a 15 or less minute video. But everything, ask any questions. I'm not a guru. I'm not a financial advisor. You know all the disclaimers, but I'm sitting at work, thought I would help somebody out. So percentage plus and loss, that's probably what I look at a lot. Cost basis, not necessarily. Use, yes. Type. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Because this is an important window. And here I am, tweaking again. Now, it depends on what type of trader you are. You know, some people don't like Grotoni for a while, didn't look at his P&L. I know other people that swear by that's all they look at. You know, as you develop as a trader, as your battle plan develops, as you get more and more confident in those trades, all these are different stages. You're gonna adjust as you go. There is no one right answer. So, I mean, by all means, get in here, move things around, left, right, sideways if it's possible. What I wouldn't recommend with Etrade is changing the colors too much. I got into a habit to where I was doing that for a while, and it would actually glitch, and you wouldn't be able to read the numbers. And my scanners, you know, I had one, it was green for gains and red for losses, and I had all this stuff going on. I had a scanner called El Cheapo for stocks under $1, but with higher volume. And then depending on the time of day, I mean, I would go scan crazy because I felt like I should get in here and learn everything. But like I said, in the end, it's about your battle plan. And in the end, it's about what you're comfortable doing, how much money you're willing to put on the table, willing to risk, and what has worked for you over time? Well, you're not going to know that right now. So just remember, now's the time to get in, do the tweaking, do all this learning. Don't put too much, don't put any more than you can afford to use. When I started out, it was strictly 25% or less of my account. So I would cut it in half again, and that's what I'd be trading with most of the time. And first starting out, that was like 500. And I mean, I started out with 600. So I was only able to go long, did that for a while, did pretty good, got a couple good tips here and there, and then I lost most of it. Then I started doing a couple good trades, and I was like, I'm pushing my account to 2,000. So I saved up enough money at that point to get it to 2,000, started shorting, and my very first short was CARA, and it was an earnings winner. So I lost on an earnings winner my very first short. Almost the number one rule of shorting: don't short an earnings winner. And it wasn't like I was doing it because I was trying to break the rules. I just, one, didn't exactly remember it being an earnings winner at the time. It's not like there's a tab on here that says, hey, this is an earnings winner. You need to, and I didn't use the long-term chart at the time either. That's the other thing. So I'm like, oh, we broke the day's low. I think this is a good short. No, dummy. Get in here, look, remember your rule set, have it written down, and go from there. I know I got a little bit off topic, but I think what we have here, other than the order window, is about most of what I'm going to show you. Man, their pictures suck. Let's see here. Alright. This window, what sucks about it is that you can only make it so small. And I look at this one for my volume, even though the watch list can do that for me. But when I'm making a trade, I like to see the volume. Well, you see it's not shrinking any. It'll shrink up to the point, but then it's done. Even if you don't want last to be this long, it's just the way they did it, and you can't really do much about it. So this window kind of takes up, I would say, too much space. I want those 4 buttons and this information right here, symbol of course. I don't need these other things. And if it could fit in there, that would be awesome. But it doesn't. And so you got to find a place for it. And on a laptop like I'm on right now, it can kind of be difficult. So that's my review of the order ticket window. Now I'm going to push you to one of my other screens that I already have set up. You're going to see, like I said, what has worked for me over time. So this is definitely not all what Tim shows us. I mean, he has his own thing. He keeps it simple, and that means something totally different to him than what keep it simple means to me. You know, a few simple moving averages means keep it simple to me. So I have multiple watch lists, and Etrade is terrible about when we try to name these. It will erase it and put it back to default, or put it back to, it'll have weed stocks on shipping stocks. They did a terrible job. What can I say? And I'm calling them out, yeah, but I've called them before about it, and they like act like it's only happening to me. But then when I help somebody else, it happened to them too. So whatever, it is what it is. Also, settings, you can go in here. User preferences is a big one. If you're going to do any videos, this is the wrong window because I'm an idiot. Let's see. Account preferences. If you're going to do any videos, hide your account number just because. Whether it's the last 4 digits or not, it's kind of irrelevant. Just save your scan and do that first off. It's not like you need to see your account number either. I mean, it's not going to do you much good right now. Hopefully you have that information somewhere else. Alright, keeping it moving. So what I did here is I just, on my laptop, put long term over here on the right, intraday here in the middle, and you do see a few SMAs here. And the specific reason for that was I wanted something. I wanted something that I could follow that would allow me to cut losses quickly. I was having a trouble with that. So this basically, it's a terrible chart to be looking at right now. Let's see if I can find you something a little more relevant. And something spikes up and then it comes back down and hits that first SMA, you're on warning. You already know the trend has changed. And so what you're going to do is possibly let it hit the next line. Now I've colored mine to know which one. If it hits the red one, I'm a big dummy for not getting out, basically. It depends on the pattern, what's going on long and short term. But I was playing morning runners, and morning runners take off fast, and then they start coming down before you know it too. So if you're lucky enough to be on them early enough, and it is luck by you, this is not a high odds setup with a pattern that you can really point out the entry and exits unless you have a previous day's high that was broken, possibly a pre-market high that was broken. And that's if it did anything yesterday. A lot of times these just pre-market just start running up. And so much for making this a 15-minute video, but that's why I have those on there. Of course, got VWAP as well. I'm a big fan of that. Just knowing, it's almost like a line saying, hey, this is what everybody's almost agreeing on paying as an average. Obviously, there's people that pay higher and there's people that pay less. Man, so much to really talk about, and I feel like I didn't cover enough. So I will try to go over what I just recorded and see what I can do to make it even better next time. But I'm gonna just throw this up there and see what happens. Everybody's laughing at me. Now behind here, another important window is news. And so sometimes I'll hide a window behind another one just to save some space, like I did here with the scanner, as I'll show you in a second. Everything's linked on Prime, and then that way, when you click on the ticker in your watch list, everything should change with it. So on my laptop, I'm not greatly set up for seeing the catalyst right off the bat. So if I'm using my laptop, it's usually to get in and out or out of a position I'm already in. I don't know if I said that right. Basically to get out of a position I'm already in, or to get further into a position if it's going my way and I feel I can add to that position. Alright, so these watch lists here, in order to get them, extra ones, you're going to go up here and click on this, and you're going to put enable tabs on this window. Once you enable tabs, you then can hit the plus sign to add more watch lists. Like I said, you could try label them, but most of the time, it's not going to work. Yeah, with that. Woo. So I'm basically, I'd say most of the way done here. The best thing you can do is just get in here and tweak it. You got an accounts order status, positions. So the stocks you're actually in on, you get the information up here. What you actually do, buy, sell, cover, you're going to have that information up here, whether it was all or nothing, which is this box right here. If you have more than 300 shares, you're allowed to select that, and you will only get filled for all of your position or nothing at all. That's simple. A lot of times though, you'll have 300 or less than 300 shares, and you just have to kind of take it in stride. This can affect your PDT, and it really depends on the setup. And you had to have gotten in today, trying to get back out today. I just had multiple problems with that, so I kind of just try to avoid those trades whenever possible. I think I'm done here. That's all for now. I'll think of something, I'm sure, as soon as I shut this off. There are, let's see, sometimes I like to just, if it's a boring day, I look at ETFs just to see what's moving. I'll look at sectors just to see where the money is. Where's that money flow? If you're a short trader, it works out really nice because you can find the weakest areas, or you can find the strongest areas and try to find the weakest link in that sector. If it ran up yesterday, for example, on either no news or some real sorry news, which is something you'll have to make a list of too. You know, your catalysts. You really need a catalyst list. And I mean, what was hot just a couple of weeks ago were just letters. Well, they're always hot, I guess. Letters from a CEO, especially one that is just jam packed full of words that it's like they were just flipping through a dictionary and they had to get something exciting, you know, like, oh, an amazing company with wonderful prospects and awesome. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. Overplayed. But anyway, that's what they do. That's their job and that's how they get paid. So if you work to your advantage, that's how you'll get paid too. Okay, I keep saying I'm done. I'm done for real. Good night.